you can support a women veteran organization is, number one, you can volunteer your time. You can donate, obviously, finances. You can also donate, people can donate time to help you find in-kind donations. My challenge is, as a nonprofit founder, I'm the marketing exec, I'm the accountant, I'm the person that's answering the phones, I'm the person that's organizing the events, I'm the person working with the companies. I've been doing this since 2000. I think we did our first event at the end of 2016, but the entire year of 2016, I was in prep mode for the organization. So by the time I launched that first event, which our first event was in December 2016, it was a holiday social. Okay, but our 1023 paperwork application went in at the beginning of the year. We were federally approved as a 501c3 in May of 2016. We got our nonprofit in May, but we didn't host our first event until December, because during that time, I'm gaining support. I'm having our website built. We're getting a logo made. We're trying to have an address, a business address. We're making sure we have our state and federal exemptions and certifications in place. There's so much work that goes into that part of it that people don't see. So when you host the first event, people are going, oh, this organization is here, but this organization didn't start overnight. It literally was a year in the making. I was actually a student of the Joseph Business School, through Faith Ministries Alliance and Bill Winston Ministries out of Illinois. And when I was in that program, which is a biblical-based business program, I was learning how to really, I was a business major in undergrad. I started my first business when I was 12 years old. I love business. I studied business. I studied business in undergrad and I studied business in grad. So I obviously have a love of business. So when I knew that I wanted to start this nonprofit, I knew that I needed some training. So I started going to the Joseph Business School so I can learn how to balance my biblical foundation and faith-based initiatives with starting a business. I wanted to run a business, but I wanted to run a faith-based business. So when I was in that program is where one of the assignments was to contact, your state resources, and that's how I began working with the Small Business Development Center. So from working with the Small Business Development Center and going through, hey, this is what you need to have on your 1023. This is how you need to have your organization set up. When you do these veteran programs, they tell you get a bail team together. You need a banker, you need someone that's an accountant, you need someone in insurance, you need someone that's a lawyer so that you can have those things in place in case you have challenges with your business. So then you get to the point where we're getting ready to host our first event. Well, we need volunteers, because it's great to host an event, but I can't be everywhere when I'm hosting an event, even though a lot of times I have had to be everywhere when we're hosting an event. Prior to COVID, Zahara Veterans Network was the only organization in America hosting in-person events specifically for women veterans every single month. And I did that for almost 3 years. And it was a lot. A lot, because you're covering everything from having to order food. If you're serving food at that event, you're having to secure a venue. We're bringing in guest speakers. We're connecting with other women veterans. And it's amazing the women veterans that we have. I've brought in women veterans and let them talk about their businesses and talk about their organizations. And I don't hear from them again until they're seeking for me to do something else for them. They don't ever come back and say, Hellena, thank you so much for your help. How can I help you? I can count on one finger or two fingers the number of times that's happened. Very, very rarely. I don't get a lot of support, but I'm the person that people turn to when they want support. And so I've really, during COVID, one of the things everyone complained about COVID. No one was excited about COVID. I loved COVID. I loved COVID because it finally gave me an opportunity to take a break, pull all the way back, and really focus on how do I continue to empower myself and build myself up so that I can continue to serve the community, but then also really looking at what my priorities are as an organization. During 2019, I looked at, the end of 2019 going into 2020, right when COVID was getting started, I looked at finances. 22% of my personal income went into Zahara Veterans Network for the year 2019. Now you think about that when you're running a nonprofit organization, that 22% of your personal income is the support system for that nonprofit. It's a lot. So when we were having women veterans, a lot of things that Zahara Veterans Network does not do as a nonprofit. We don't pay for rent. We don't, buy clothes. We stopped doing all that stuff because we weren't getting the support from the government agencies in order to do it, because we don't own a building, so we don't qualify for a lot of grants. But I didn't want to take on the expense of a building, because who was going to pay the rent every month? me. The organization isn't bringing in enough to pay the rent every month, so it will fall on me. And I didn't want to put that on myself. So people would come in and they'd have these challenges. Oh, they need this part of their rent paid, or they need help with this, or they're facing this. So I would come out of pocket and personally pay for those things. So this is what you're not going to know as a person that just wants to start a nonprofit, or you're just getting started. What happens when your heart is getting tugged at and you're seeing the need, and the money isn't there for the organization, but as a person, you chip in and you help out.